Earlier this month, I dug through some old files of mine and found a fan game I made called Sonic, A Tale of Vengeance, a top-down shooter I made in a week for an event called Rage, and the theme of that year's Rage was the Sonic movie, since it was a pretty hot topic back when it was first announced. Now, instead of making something intentionally bad or funny like most Rage submissions, I decided to make something that took itself way too seriously. So after dusting off the project file and moving it into the latest version of Game Maker, I began my mission to fix this project up. It went from looking like this to this. But there's still a lot of work to do, so let's keep going. After setting up a quick to-do list on Trello to keep track of things, I decided to start with making the enemy sprites. The list of enemies are pretty simple. You've got your common enemy, the Motobug, a turret, and a bigger, beefier enemy who I'm calling the mini-boss, and two other variations of the common enemy made specifically for this game's Encore mode. I'm redesigning the Motobugs to look closer to how the badniks look in the Sonic movie. Our mini-boss enemy is keeping its simple circular design, just borrowing some visual cues from Sonic & Knuckles' Death Egg mini-boss. I'll be saving this eye as a separate file so it can move independently of the main body, and adding a new feature to the boss, more circles. I plan to have spheres orbit the mini-boss to give it extra defense and make the overall design stand out a bit more. Then I'll just remake the turret design. Not really doing much different for this design, just nudging it closer to the game's current art style. And with that, we're set. Almost. There's one more enemy to cover, but he's a bit more complex. At the end of the game, you face off against Movie Sonic. At the time of making this game, all we had access to was the teaser art, so naturally Movie Sonic's design in this game is basically just a big Sonic silhouette. But with how the game looks now, this sprite just won't do. So it's time for a redesign. I'm keeping the dark silhouette look, but making him more lanky and giving him one visible red eye, just to make him seem more menacing. So I quickly sketched his new animation, since he just walks back and forth, just giving him this walk cycle would be fine. Now, as for how the boss works, here's the breakdown. The player spawns into the boss arena, which is about the same size as the game's resolution. The boss sits at the top, moving left and right while shooting projectiles at the player. Every few seconds, a barrier appears beneath the boss, making it invulnerable for a while before it disappears again. A secondary enemy spawns in every so often called the Sentry. It also shoots at the player, and the only way to deal with it is to take it out. The boss's other attacks include a bigger projectile that bounces off the arena walls, and a horizontal energy blast once the boss's health reaches a certain point. Every so often a health monitor will spawn in so you can get your health back up. Overall, it's a pretty simple encounter, but recent changes to the game's mechanics, like the short cooldown between the player's attack, the ammo system, make an already not very engaging battle a lot more tedious. So I redesigned it. I expanded the area a bit and added cover spots so the player can hide from the boss's attacks. Speaking of attacks, the boss's main attack now changes based on the current phase of the battle. Oh yeah, phases are a thing now. There are 4 phases, each tied to a specific amount of health the boss has. He changes up his bullet pattern and introduces new moves as the fight goes on. The Sentry now shares code with the common enemy, meaning it'll move around while attacking you. It'll also drop health and ammo pickups. The boss can't be harmed with melee attacks, so having ammo is really important. Now the boss not only works with the gameplay changes in mind, but it's also more engaging and not just dependent on how fast you can shoot the guy before he drains your health. Having this new phase system is great because I can reuse it for the other boss. It's still a work in progress, but the last update I made for the game added an extra optional boss that would give you an extra power up if you defeated it. It was a tad more ambitious than the normal boss and needs a bit more planning before I can show it off. But the gameplay you're seeing right now is how it is in the current public build. So, that's about it for this devlog. Next up, I'm hopefully going to be going into map design, redoing the layout of all the stages to make them more memorable and engaging. While the current version of the game isn't ready just yet, there is an older playable build down in the description below. If you guys have any requests for features or ideas, let me know. Thanks for watching.